What up, good people? Another episode of Before the Microphone. Stories and situations before I was ever a comedian. Get it understood. I was always cracking jokes and talking crazy, but a lot of serious stuff went down. And this episode is called The Mac. You know I don't never say nobody's name or just don't really say nobody's name. But I want to tell y'all something about loyalty, friendship in this story. Because the truth is, the way things are now, in this era that we're growing up in, friendship ain't what it is. You gotta go through trials and tribulations with people to really find out if they're your friend or if a person to be down with you in a situation, life-threatening, motivational, whatever. However, I used to hang out a lot on Saturday Night for Paxton. And in the last episode, the introduction to a shooter, this happened way after, years later. So, every dude back in the day had a girl, they had, situations with women and all of that. And that was cool, but I had a baby mama at this time. It's one of my son's mamas. And she was a mess. Always arguing, always, But I guess at that time, I was young, didn't know no better. So, I'm going to put that to the side because what happened had something to do with her. Anyway, I got friends. We had a whole crew of dudes. We used to hang over a couple brothers' houses, and it was right there in the little townhouses. We used to hang out right on the corner. Be kicking it, be doing all type of stuff in there, gambling, you know what I'm saying, drinking. I always really wasn't a drinker anyway, but we used to kick it. This particular day, it had to be about anywhere from 12 to 15 of us outside kicking it, right? So we outside, hot summer day. And I do remember it like it was yesterday because it kind of looked like it was going to rain, but it was real nice outside. So we out there, we kicking it. And my buddy was like, man, what's up? What we on for the night, man? We on Stony Island? Stony Island used to be popping. 87, 79, South Chicago. It's just like, if you ever seen Boys in the Hood, you seen Crenshaw, that's how it was in Chicago. Every side of town got it, The west side, I think the west side had Madison, or I know it was a park on the west side everybody used to kick to. But I was over east and over south at this time. So what happened was, we standing there making our plans for what we gonna do tonight. And it really wasn't nothing but some more hanging out somewhere else. And then all of a sudden, my baby mama, girlfriend walk up. She was like, oh my God. So-and-so just got into a fight. Now, my baby mama got into a fight with her best friend. Her and her best friend used to argue all the time. So this time they got into a fight, but my baby mama was pregnant with my son. Which her and her girl fought all the time. It really wasn't new to me. Because they would be friends, then they would fight, then they right back friends. That's how some chicks was back then. And probably now. But anyway, I told her, I said, what you telling me they fight for? And she was like, because her baby daddy jumped in it. He jumped on her too. Everybody that was outside, all my guys, that's when they really started listening like, what? And I said, all right, well, let me go down here and holler at dude. My intentions were to go down there to just talk to him. But let me tell you what I didn't know now. What I didn't know then and what I know now. My reputation preceded me because I always was with getting down. But this particular time, I wasn't finna do all of that because I knew how they were. Then if I knew with my man, if I go down here and holler at dude and get into it with him, me and him gonna be back and forth. And I'm not going. I'm not finna be playing. But I told, I said, all right, I'm finna go down there and holler at old boy. My man's in them, they ready to go. They ain't on no talking because they really ain't never heard me say that. This was the first time I ever was thinking logically about handling a situation, and only really because that was my baby mama best friend, and that was her best friend man. And I knew that my baby mama literally 9 times out of 10 said something crazy to this man. That didn't grant him putting his hands on her or nothing like that, but I know her, and I knew what they was going to be on. So me and get into it differently. And me and him wasn't friends. So all my crew was like, man, let's go smash this nigga. I'm like, no, that ain't what I'm on. So I'm finna go holler at dude and tell them they gonna get into it. Let them get into it. You ain't got no business getting into that. Cause they women, they girls. Man, my man say, this one particular homie of mine was like, man, I ain't finna let you go down there by yourself. And I'm like, well, I'm always by myself. I said, that's how come you know, cool, come on. That's what y'all want to do. All y'all want to come. I said, but I don't really need y'all to go down there and holler at this because I'm not finna do nothing to do. And to make it even more solid that I wasn't finna do nothing, I gave my banger to my little cousin. Now, my little cousin at the time, he always wanted to hang with us. But he wasn't on the level that we was on. But he always did want to hang with us. So this time where he was hanging at wasn't no thing. So let me tell you something. We all mobbed up, loaded into 3 cars. Any other time we'd be going on a move, we would split up and come around and do what we had to do. But this day I said, man, we're going to just go. I don't want y'all to go because I don't need y'all to go because I'm not on that. And it's one dude. But my reputation preceded me. Dude heard about me. He didn't really know me. I really wasn't into kicking it with my girlfriend, friends, and all of that. Because I know how women was. I didn't really like doing all of that with them. Anyway, we get down there. And I think I said this, we had to be like 12 deep because a couple people stayed back. So it was about 15 of us out there, but then 12 stayed back. So when I walked over there and I seen dude over there leaning on a building on 72nd and Jeffrey, I said, man, there go dude right there. Let me go holler at him. I knew how he looked, but I ain't really know the nigga. So I walk over there, and mind you, y'all got a picture of how this look. I walk over there with the intentions on just talking to him. But I done came with 12 niggas. That wasn't a good look. I wasn't thinking about that. Because really, I was telling them I'm not going over there. So I'm thinking they gonna just, stand there and watch me talk to them. Man, at this time in our cruise, a couple people you couldn't say nothing crazy to. Me and my cousin. And my cousin, he was actually locked up at the time. So I was the top dog out there. Man, me and the dude talking. I said, look, man, you know who I am. I know who you is. This my thing. Them is women. They gonna always argue. They gonna always fight. But you ain't got no business getting in that. Because them is girls, man. They gonna always, And then she pregnant with my baby, man. So, you know what I'm saying? He said, out of his mouth, he looked at all of us. And see, this time, it was the only time in my life I came with my guards down. And a dude, I didn't really peep that he was on the ready because of my reputation. That man was leaned back on the wall, had his hand in his jackets. He had his hand in his pockets. He was talking to me. He was like, man, she said something out of her mouth she shouldn't have said. And I don't care who she got a baby by, who she with. I ain't going. When he said that, I looked at him like, in my mind, I looked at him like, nigga, I came in peace. But imagine I'm still there with 12 dudes. One of the dudes said, man, who was you talking crazy to like that? Stole him. Fire! The man slipped back because his hair started drizzling. The man slipped back and he slipped on a little mud. But he came up out of his pocket. Fire! 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 As he was falling. Fire! So we right there. Everybody ducking, everybody running. My cousin, first thing came to my mind was, get my banger. My cousin who I gave the banger to, the one that shouldn't have been out there, froze. Like, I'm talking about stuck. I run up on him. I said, man, what? And grabbed him. I'm chasing him. Boom, 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 boom. He's shooting back. I'm over there. There used to be a store right there called Food Basket. Shot. It was a shootout. Crazy shootout. But he had already got ahead of us because he was running and he had distance. So by the time I even came around the corner, let a couple loose, he was way where he had to be. Got away. All I hear is one of my homies say, hey, oh, slow down. I go back. One of the girls I knew came up, screaming and hollering. I gave her the heater. I said, take this. Just take this, get away from here. She hopped in her car, sped off. I see my man's laying down. I jumped dead by him. Lift his head up. At this time, I didn't know about bullets, trajectories, how they go, what they do when they get inside your body. Because I still hadn't been shot yet. But I seen blood coming out his mouth. At that time, I didn't know that was a good sign. And I kept telling him, stay with me, stay with me. He kept looking at me, and he didn't say nothing. Later on, I found out he couldn't say nothing because the bullet had already was traveling. Man, ambulance come. They told me I couldn't get in the ambulance, so we shot to the hospital. Hospital they took him to was downtown. So when they had the trauma center, because we was over east, you know what I'm saying, by the lake. So they took Lakeshore Drive, shot all the way over there. Man, when I tell you, we get to the hospital, it's about 8 or 9 of us in there. Everybody's waiting, everybody's trying to figure out what the doctor gonna say. One of the girls that was with us, she started praying. We all joined hands in prayer. Man, it's time the detectives done came. Now me, being a dude that done been in situations before, I know it's different departments of detectives. So when these detectives was talking to me and asking me questions, and I was telling them, I don't even really know, dude, and it was because I wanted to get him myself. Remember, I come from the lick back era. I wanted to get my lick back. And I'm sitting up here, listening to the police, talking to me, asking me all these questions. I'm telling them, I don't know this, I don't know that, I don't know. A lot of the stuff I didn't know, because I didn't know nothing about dude. I stopped him. I said, hold on. Let me ask y'all the questions. Y'all ask me all these questions. I got one question for y'all. What department are you detectives from? Because I knew about gang. I knew about, traffic. And I knew about homicide. The detective said, well, Mr. Phillips, we're homicide. I put my head down. Right then and there, I just started crying. My people was like, what's wrong? What's the matter with you? What's wrong? I said, man, these homicide detectives, man. That mean he gone. Homicide only come if you gone. Nah. They let me go in there and they let me see him. That was my first time seeing a friend of mine. And when I tell you about a friend of mine, he had brothers, he had mother. I used to be real tight with his moms. His moms loved me. That woman won't talk to me right now to this day. I blame myself because I should have just went alone. I told them I didn't want to go, but it made it seem like I probably was on something else because I came with so many people. And I lost my friend because he was my friend. His brothers, they didn't blame me. Majority of the blame was all me. And his mother felt what a mother should feel, that I was the reason that her son was gone. The crazy part of it all was his brother, one of his brothers, he had a younger brother that just was so crazy. We used to laugh at him all the time. His older brother told me, he said, man, you know I hate my brother gone. He said, but I don't blame you. He said, because if the shoe was on the other foot, that would be you. He said, I know how my brother was about you, and I know how you was about my brother. But I lost my friend because he was my friend. I lost my friend because he was like, you ain't finna go down there by yourself. He knew something could turn crazy. He knew something could turn crazy. And he just thought in his mind that, man, I'm going to make sure I'm there. If it do, that loyalty at that time, the age we were, was that level. When you get older, and to make it to be older, understand what I'm saying, to make it to be older, the age that I was, I wish I would have known, and I wish he would have said, don't go down there right now. Let everybody cool off. Let everybody cool off. You might not have no intentions on doing nothing, but dude probably done heard about you. Everybody know that was your lady. That's what the friends that I have now that are older say. Is it worth it? Are you serious? That's what you finna go do? At that time and the age and mentality that we had, that went on our mind. Because any other situation, it was go. Go. Right now to this day, I'm 50-something years old. Me and him we was basically the same age. He would have made it to that age. I don't know where he would have been or what he would have been doing. I know he would have been doing something good. Because he was one of the funniest cats that I ever knew. But to lose a friend and understand you lost a friend because he was your friend never sits well with me. It's a piece of my heart that knows that I understand that. Both his brothers don't blame me. But the fact that I was never able to talk to his mother again, still can't talk to her. I actually talked to his brothers a couple of days ago, and that's what made me tell this truth about before the mic. And that was the time in my life that I wasn't even thinking about being a comedian. I wasn't thinking about being no comedian. That was the time in my life where I was young and I was like, I'm just finna get money. That's all it was. I did comedy a little bit after that at a lounge down the street called the End of the Rainbow. So it was the beginning in Rainbow Beach. But this is probably one of the only stories that I will tell. His name was Mac. Mac was my man's. I went to his funeral. And there was so many people there. So many people that knew how close we were. And none of them said, anything to me. But you could see the looks. What was he doing down there? Who was he with? He was with me. I lost my friend because of making a stupid decision of letting my other friends that were so deep to go with me and making the ultimate dumb decision of going, not understanding what my reputation was at the time. My reputation was never to go talk, because I never had did it before. My reputation used to be, if something go down, it's going down. So y'all know and understand that situation made my reputation even worse for the time being. It's a lot more I could say, but I've been trying to hold back because even as long as it's been, it still hurts. I hope y'all learned something from this. I hope y'all took my story and situation for more than it was. Thank y'all for checking out another episode of Before the Microphone. It's your boy, comedian BaldHead Phillips. I'll see y'all in the next episode. And I will also be putting out a time when I'm going to be releasing these consistently on a regular. Thank y'all. Peace out.